Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome. Hello. Come on in. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being here. Hope that you are feeling prosperous, fulfilled, satisfied, adored, loved, and so much more. Okay? We are going to get straight into this, my darling, my love, my person. Be my person. What the fuck? Anyways, we're gonna do a spooky reading, but I'm also was getting a whole lot of like inner child stuff. Like I got an inner child affirmation before I started. I was like, okay, should I do inner child reading? And I was like, no, that is not the energy I'm feeling. And then as I was shuffling the spooky deck cards, um, I have no other name for them, and it works out so perfectly. I see Mr. Crockett. Mr. Crockett came, and he was dealing with kids. You know, he was taking kids from abusive homes, neglectful homes. Um, I think he was eating the kids, but a lot to do with inner child and trauma and all that stuff. You get what I'm saying? So it's possibly has something to do because the spooky cards, I always like to say, they're just cards, baby. They're just cards. So we can get into this. Now I'm seeing us. A lot to do with possibly family. Us was so good. I love things that I feel like I feel like a lot of things can be true. Obviously, I'm spiritual. I feel like a lot of things can be true. Definitely tapping into a lot of inner child stuff. Wasn't feeling the inner child reading, but here we are. But it's like the whimsy, the imagination, the depth. It's siblings playing and creating an entire scene and world, and we'll pick this up when we left off. Type of it's just an imagination of the mind. Now I'm seeing SpongeBob hilarious. I almost grabbed some SpongeBob like pajama pants today, but I was like, no, like nah, that's okay. Um, but it's like this that moment he was like imagination when he was playing in a box with Patrick, and no matter how hard Skidward tried, it didn't work because imagination was tapped out, and to the point where he thought he was feeling the imagination, it was actually reality. So it's just like, no, you didn't really tap in. You still was into the succumb of the world. But is thank you, Spirit. With that being said, done and created the hello Ruhi. Um, it's this energy of like expansion and imagination of recognizing that all things are possible. Like there, it really is no limit until somebody else tells you. They put a rule, they put a stamp on it. Like no, they can't be done. No, it's not set up that way. Whatever. And so once it's tapping into this, it releases a whole lot for you. So a lot to do with inner child, a lot to do with family, a lot to do with growing up, and yeah, so let's go ahead and shuffle this card a little bit more and see if we gonna continue to get. Okay, I love this. It's crazy when spirit really does shift and move things in a certain way. I love it. Let's go ahead and get started. I saw Jupiter's Curse. When DVD, it's a lot to do with younger self. There was when you had Nightmare on Elm Street, a lot of older movies. It was DVDs would have like the intros, for the main menu. It wasn't just put the DVD in there, play, or you click on a stream and it plays, or it was like you'd had the menu settings, behind the scenes, all this stuff, so that way you can arrange it how you wanted to arrange it. So that way it wasn't just. Once I found out, small attention, maybe it's significant that when all movies now, as of recently, I don't remember when it started, can't remember the dates. I'm so sorry, but definitely in the late 2000s, I believe they just created movie sound. Um, Sadly, the darkness is just the darkness, even in a movie theater. But they created everything so that way it can be played in a movie. So that way, when things are released on streaming platforms or you do get it in DVD, the sound quality is shit no matter what. Some parts are too high, some parts are too low, but that's because it was made for a movie theater. And back when speakers, you got the big speakers in the back of your TV, it was almost a semblance of what it is now. It's just like now it's thin little speakers coming out from the back of the TV. So Everything was made for one thing, but with the menu setting, you can customize it. You know, you can go into the settings, add in the subtitles if you wanted subtitles, change the language if you wanted to change the language. Like you were able to go in there and customize it. You were able to go in there and see the bloopers, the behind the scenes, the director's cut if they have it, or commentary. So it allows you a lot more access to what you were consuming, what you're about to take in. It allows you to digest it. And it's crazy because I'm mentioning this thinking spirit. I was like, where are we going with this spirit? Always got a reason, and the reason is always going to be followed if you just go with the motherfucking flow. I remember because I did not like scary movies. I did not start really watching scary movies alone and at night, because even if I watch it alone, I would watch it in the morning, like really, really early in the morning. Then I would stop and watch a whole bunch of shit and kid shit, and afterwards, like, no, I just couldn't. But the more I got into it, I'm like, what am I afraid of? Like, I deal with shit that possibly would scare the fuck out of a lot of people when I this movie, and I realized it was the sound, the frequency. So you're talking dimension in the sound and things of that sort, and then the sound and frequency. That's what they use in movies. There's certain notes, tones that vibrate on you to make you feel something, to allure something. That's why in certain things they use red, but red is root chakra, overcoming fear, survival mode, feeling safe. So they use red and they put unsafe, scary situations. So now you get what I'm saying? So it's this flip. But the reason why I was saying that and adding on to the menu, that was a little, I love when they add a little extra bonus message. Um, but did I remember? I did. But to add on to the extra part of it, it was someone told me, like, watch the behind the scenes of the movie being made. Like, you won't be afraid of it anymore. Like, you won't be scared. But I was like, I don't want to do that. Because to be honest, I never did that with any of the other movies either. I just like watching it. I'll probably watch the bloopers, but behind the scenes parts where they got into it, or the director's commentary, or where he's getting ready, it was just like, I don't. It takes away the movie magic. Mm. And I didn't want to take away from the magic, but I still wanted to consume it. That's why I was like, it took me a while to get there. So they told me to watch the behind the scenes. But the reason why I'm saying all this, you're probably like, this is, and but if it's hitting from motherfucker, it hit from motherfucker. Because if you do readings like I do, and you listen to readings also like I do, you know that a message is always going to be where it needs to be. Ashe. Okay. So with needing to change, it's the spirit is adding in certain settings and capabilities for you to allow that to pass through. So that way you're not just manufactured for one way, because you never were. And so it's almost like pulling you back to the shot like realm of imagination, of expansion, of changing your tune and frequency. Look at this. What is today? What is today? Hereditary. What did I say? Family. So it could have been the way that you were raised. We got Halloween on the other side as well. Halloween can be significant when you were. I ain't gonna even mention that. I say we got the Adams family that's sliding out. It's like I'm reading them, we're not pulling them, and it's almost like pulling. It's like when a child is. I'm here. It's a lot to do with your inner child. You can have children, sure, but right now it's your inner child. That's what the fuck we talking about. You know, hold yourself just a little bit. It's this sense of like wanting to just know it all, understand it all. So it's like if I pick one thing, I don't want to focus on one thing. And so I think, thank you. I know that's why they're saying yours is different. You're not set up for one mode. Once you pick one thing, once you create this movie, it is only going to be set up and centered for the movie theater. And everybody else is going to have to make sure they got the remote in hand and going up and going down, turn up the brightness and lowering the brightness and trying to, now they have to be the creative directors and behind the scenes, the lighting person, the tech. They have to do all this. We have to do all this. And it's like, and it's, follow me please, but it's like when you recognize that you already have inside of you, it's almost like, don't limit your opportunities and depth that you have. it's customizable and not like you are bending to people's will or you're doing what people say just to do what people say, or no, it's a means of you when you can talk to anybody. Thank you, Spirit. You can talk to anybody, you can be in any room, you can, it's like you're very, I don't even want to say resourceful, like you're just very knowledgeable. Like I didn't know you can do that, I didn't know I could do that either, but I thought I'd give it a try. It's like you know so much, and that's why I feel like I just keep shuffling the cards. It's like you keep wanting to know more. It's like you know so much and you're just waiting to play your cards, almost like you have more than enough. And so it's like you've been having this for some time, maybe since you were a child, maybe it is passed down to you as you were a child. It's this really strong staple. It's this frequency that you're able to vibrate on. Like I said, they play certain tones and frequencies, even in happy moments and sad moments. It's like they create the music, the vibe, the energy, so that way you are able to put your body in that realm as well and not feel, it allows you to release your emotions, not feel caged in. It allows you to express them and dive in and hopefully gather the vision that the person that created the movie or a show or whatever is trying to encapsulate. That's why people say that we miss those pause moments in movies and shows where it was a breather. There was no conversation, where it just takes a moment, because sometimes that happens in real life. It's not back to back. You don't always know what to say. But Spirit is expanding your way of playing your cards, playing your skills, playing your tricks, playing up yourself. And not in a way of like, okay, let me go to parties if you don't go to parties. Let me start socializing and going to, what do they call those events where you like gotta market yourself? It's like Spirit is like, no, 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 no. You are, people meet you where you're at. You get what I'm saying? Like people meet you where you're at. And so it's almost like that intro that I was talking about. And the reason why I brought up Jupiter Scripts is because I remember I do crazy stuff. It's Cancer moon, and it's in my 8th house, so that can tell you how I heal. But to kind of start getting over it, the Jeepers Creepers scene, it would just be him peeking. Like this, like you can't see this. It's you only see one eye. The rest is covered, and then obviously it's like this down here. You can kind of see, like right where we're just gonna take this to the doll. Right where the just crazy. The doll is good. That's crazy. That spiritual God. I say focus, 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 focus. I say move back, move forward, moving on. Thank you. Um, but and then down here is like where you're able to choose like press play or settings and games. I don't know if they had games on the Tube Screen one. I don't remember. But anyways, it was down here and it would kind of have like in the background almost transparent but not transparent where you can see little bits and pieces of the movie playing. But up top it was his face. Well, not his face, but kind of like here and it say Jeepers Creepers, and it kind of had like this old print and like the rest of his face, and it was just an eye just peering. But every now and again, if you watched long enough, he would pop out and you would just see him and his face would come close and I would just scare myself. And then after I got scared, I'll sit there again waiting. And I didn't want to time the moment. I didn't want to time the scenes because sometimes the scenes were different. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to genuinely continuously scare myself and hope that I wouldn't be afraid. But then I just brought my Capricorn logic into it. And then I was like, you know what? I'm not where that is. Always, that's how I learned to heal that scary movie energy from my inner child. I was like, I never took the leprechaun's code. He's not going to come after me. I'm not in this situation. Like, it just eases me. And I wish a bitch would try me in my dreams. But we got the doll. If you don't know the doll, there's a few just the doll movies. I'm going to be fucking honest. Like if you just Google the doll horror movie, there's going to be a few, trust. But the one that I was thinking of was, at least the vision that popped in my head was the doll was, they got a house and the doll was buried near the house or under the house or around the house or something. No, the father was in construction and there was a doll buried near a tree and it had the hair and the energy of a dead girl, um, that was killed or something. I don't remember. But she was quite a vengeful spirit. We'll just put it there. And then this family moved into the new home that was kind of close to the construction site because it was a new build or whatever. It's also a foreign movie. Just heads up. And you got to do it rich. Okay. Anyways, it was pretty much, they took the dog. I don't know why they took the dog. I don't even remember why they took the dog because I don't even think they had kids. So I don't know why they took the dog. I think the woman liked it. I don't remember. I'm trying to remember. I think the woman liked dolls and she had other dolls as well. I think she had an entire room of dolls, but I could be confusing the other doll movie. Like I said, it's really a lot of fucking doll movies, okay? But the message that I'm trying to fucking get to, okay? Message I'm trying to point is that it was the energy and essence of the little girl inside of this immovable object, the doll, right? So she had to move things and energies around her. I'm gonna have to take a pause break because if we get into it, I gotta get into it. Ashe. Okay, that's better. And it was fucking with them, and I think it was also giving information because I think the husband was cheating, but I don't quite remember. But the energy of the doll, they had to bring in like shamans and cleanse it, and it still wasn't working. It was still fucking up shit. But it was the energy of just the hurtness and the unhealedness and it being trapped in a doll's body where it couldn't truly give that healing in all the best ways that it could to heal the physical body that was harmed. Are you following me? Are you following? We're following along? Good. So with you having this physical body, and I'm saying that you are able to change and adjust to a frequency and or adjust the frequency, right? It's almost like when people see you, it automatically adjusts to their settings. Now that for some people can be a good thing, or it can be a bad thing. It can be a confused thing, but that ain't got a not damn thing to do with you how to decide to view your movie. You get what I'm saying? Are you following along? I hope you're following along because bitch, this is eating. Okay, so it automatically customizes them. That's why I say you're not adjusting, you're not bending over backwards, you're not people pleasing. No, you're just you're tuning everybody else to that frequency. And so it automatically adjusts to the lens that they need to see and understand you on because of where they are, or where their vision is, where their imagination. You see, bitch, come on, like I know, like your message is good. So with this doll energy, you have the energy to do that, to move, to shift, to heal that inner child, to heal that current adult, to heal it all. Oh, The Fourth Kind was a good fucking movie. The Fourth Kind was a good, which is crazy. Oh, Spirit is so good. And ain't nothing on the back. Ain't nothing on the back. Oh my God, Chucky came out again. That's not his name. But The Fourth Kind is literally about a therapist, and she's dealing with some, people that go to therapy, or she's a psychologist because they are different. One of the two. But she's dealing with somebody that thinks they're, seeing aliens, and the fourth kind, not our kind, not that kind, not that kind, the fourth kind. You get it? You got it. I say. So with the fourth kind coming in here, it's this energy of, I think it was based on a true story because they did have some clips, and apparently the son wasn't happy with it because the sister got taken. Sister is gone. They still don't know where the sister is. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I think they exaggerated some things and some things, but the mom kind of looked a little crazy. Like the actual doctor looked like later on, she looked like she really has been looking for her. It's But again, family issues, not issues, but family shit, fucking issues, or significant problems, or just things where something drastic happened. But we have the nun, which is also a spiritual energy. A lot to do with healing. The fourth kind, she was a therapist. She was trying to heal. She wound up not even being able to heal herself. A lot with not being able to heal self. The nun. I didn't watch The Nun. I do apologize. Maybe it's a good movie. Maybe it's not. I don't know why I'm apologizing. But The Nun, right? I got the pretense of the movie. The movie got the pretense of me. But it's this spiritual energy where it's almost like you're trying to cleanse. Chucky, another doll. He doesn't want to be stuck in the body. It's like you almost, for you, I feel like you haven't tapped into that energy of being able to change the frequency and vibe and use it for yourself. I feel like when people adjust to you, you take it as a sign to sometimes possibly adjust yourself. Is that what you're doing? Or to shrink self, or to not be as vocal. And I know it's like in a ship, but it's like you have to tap into this spiritual healing, because it's almost like you feel like you're trapped in a doll's body. That's honestly the energy is given. Like you feel like, shit, I can only do so much. It's like, where's your imagination? And then the fact that it's dolls, childlike play, you have to use your imagination, because sometimes you ain't got all the shit that you need. Take these last cards. We got from. They're literally in a place that they can't escape from. Just, you're probably like, bitch, well, what the fuck? Well, we get, you have to, I'm hearing you have to spiritually intercept yourself before you allow that frequency to reach where somebody else is possibly touching your dials, where somebody is possibly getting you out of your element, out of pocket, right? Whatever that is, whether that's making you get loud and buck, whether that's making you get small, whether that's making you go back to a habit or a mindset, or maybe whatever it is, it's like before it gets there, you have to intercept that frequency. It reminds me, I'm going to say spoiler alert, and from where she was able to escape through the tree because she was able to escape through the tree because she was able to talk to. I'm so sorry, I forgot his name. I have not watched it in a bit. I got to refresh before it comes out with a new season. But when she was working with what's his name, and he still was trapped in that childlike mind because he never actually healed. Hello, but he was able to navigate her to the tree and get out. And he was like, "You didn't get a message." Everybody's yelling at her like, "You didn't get a message out to let people know where we were, what was happening, our family, our friends." And it's almost like you have to intercept that energy of allowing your dial to just be so easily changed and shifted. Because you can heal. I feel like there's a lot you want to heal in your inner child, and you just feel like you're stuck. You feel like maybe it's too late, or you feel like it's too big of a hump, or you feel like you can never be cleansed or forgiven as a child. So it's like this fourth kind. It's almost like you feel like you're comatose a bit. You need some healing. You need some help on the spiritual level. We got The Evil Dead and Dawn of the Dead. I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, these are both zombie movies. Doesn't matter to me. I know this is a zombie movie. Okay. Oh my god, a lot to do with your body, baby. Oh my god, honey bunches. And I always want to say never for shame. Never for shame. Never. You know, it's the sad for me. It's the sad. But never to shame. But I always like to say it's better to be what? Stuck on an island and know what the fuck to do to get off the island and stay alive than to be stuck on an island and not know shit. So we have to know exactly what is causing possibly the pee that is irritating the princess, right? What is irritating your inner child that is not disrupting your older child? The Evil Dead. I believe this is almost like a Resident Evil type movie, if I'm remembering correctly. It's like I remember movies, but names of the movies I don't. But once I see the name, it's almost like I can get snapped into a scene of the movie. But my brain works in a way that some people don't understand, and that's okay. But with the Dawn of the Dead and it's right on top of From and Chucky, it really feels like you're stuck in this in between space of like Chucky. His whole thing is trying to get a body. Zombies have a body, but it's not a body they can use. And From, they feel like they're stuck with their bodies against things and get it's. Spirit, how do I get this message? Because it's not like you're trapped in your head, which is crazy to say. You're trapped in your body. You're trapped in a habit. You're trapped in a routine. You're trapped in a social standard. You're trapped. You're trapped in something where it's just like your body. It's like that scene off of SpongeBob, where that dude, his face is the same the entire day. Nothing changes. Nothing moves. Nothing emotes. Nothing. When he makes it home, makes it to work, it's like you're functioning in a way where you have to tap on this frequency and don't allow others to so easily tap on it and dissuade you or persuade you that it's supposed to be different. And I feel like with the doll energy, thank you, Spirit. I feel like a lot of people are, because how it worked is somebody handed that man a doll. And then he was stuck with that curse. So that's why I say with the hereditary, with the family, it can be something, like I said, it feels like a body construct. Like it's stuck. You know what I'm saying? So with the doll coming out, and like I said, somebody gave it to him. Like, what the fuck? Why would you give this to me and my wife? And I think she actually lost the baby, and that's why they moved there. You weren't there when I watched it. I wasn't actually. Um. So yeah, with this, especially with the fourth client and the nun, it just needed a spiritual cleansing for sure. And sometimes spiritual cleansings don't look like, but it looks like going to the beach, taking that vacation, getting that cleanse, releasing. Because right now, I feel like you have to separate your body from its daily routine, its daily mode, its daily environment right now. Because right now you feel like a doll or a zombie, where you're just trapped in this in between space of where you want to be and where you're going and where you were going. That's the whole point. They was all going somewhere from different points. And no matter what, as long as they saw that family tree, as soon as they saw it, it's like it snapped them and it was there. Once they saw the tree, it's done. And so Spirit is like, you haven't seen the trees yet. Your girl ain't been taken yet. You haven't been given no doll yet. And at least not another one for some. Spirit got a slick ass mouth. So with the Donna, it's like, wake it up. Your body has been asleep for a long time. And it's almost like literally at the end of that movie, the fork, she's just like, she didn't look there. She just was like, I need to find my daughter. And it's like, that's how you feel with your inner child. It's like, I need to find my imagination, my creativity, my capability of recognizing that there's a possibility of expansion. Maybe you need to add some logic to it, like I had to do when I was like, hey, they can't get me. They can't do this. They can't do, like, add some logic to it. Soothe that inner child, be like, this is not good. This is not gonna happen because of this. You have to work in a way of allowing your body to believe that it is safe, that it can move, that it can act in a way that is vocal and expressive and open and secure. And the best way to do that is, because I know sometimes you can't take a motherfucking vacation, but sometimes taking back your body and your frequency is speaking up instead of swallowing. Ooh. Speaking up instead of swallowing your voice. Walking away instead of trying to convince somebody. Just walking away. Because sometimes once you're trying to convince someone, it turns into now a debate and things of that sort. So it's again that knowing. You have to have that knowing. And I feel like the more that you tune into yourself and your body and what it's saying. You can do that by going slower in the mornings. I didn't say you gotta wake up earlier. I said going slower. I realize when people rush, it actually takes them longer. And you've probably heard this before, but when you rush sometimes, try to get past something or through something or over something. Can't go under it. Can't go over it. Gotta go. Yeah, such a good book. And I'm trying to get away from a bear. Family is. A family is trying to get away from a fucking bear. A lot to do with your family. I'm just gonna keep saying that because it just keeps coming up. What the fuck was I saying? It's gone. It's gone. But you have to take an understanding to yourself to get back into your body and to recognize your body. Thank you. To go slow in the morning rushing. I knew I was gonna get there. Ooh, I love me. Once you get into this pace of going slow, because when I'm answering calls, people just going quick, I can't hear them. So you're trying to go quick. You're trying to get this information out quick. It doesn't speed up time. It doesn't speed up the clock by you going quicker. Time is still going to do what the fuck it's going to do. It's not going to speed me up because I'm still going to go at my pace. So slow down, because now I want to ask you to repeat it, and we're also over the phone. So a lot of things sound exactly the same. So if you can say it in a way that I can understand, this can be a one-time conversation versus a 4-time conversation, because now it's 4 times longer than it could have been. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you go slow, you're able to hear everything. You're able to understand everything. You're not rushing your body. You're not rushing your nervous system. You're not rushing your decision making. You're not rushing your rationale. You're not rushing. No matter how quick somebody's going, you do not need to rush. And no matter how slow somebody's going, does not mean you have to go that slow. You have to tune into that frequency and dial, because the power and gift that you have, Ashe, is people are supposed to automatically adjust to you, and they do. But you are not supposed to automatically adjust to them. You know what I'm saying? Because either people can ride on your vibe or they can die. But don't start killing yourself inside of a body that is still here. That's why they had me say that. Because I don't know if I said it or not, because I think I pushed it off, but they were saying something in the beginning. I was like, I'm not going to say that. And I rung the bell, go back to the part. When you go back to the part, they was going to say, while you're alive. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, no. But it kept coming up, and I was like, this is also, don't be hard-headed to spirit. 101. Don't be hard-headed. Say what the fuck needs to be said is being told. But yeah, this is, you have to get ownership of your body, of your mind, of your imagination, of your creative thoughts, of your peace. You have to, because right now you're running around like you're trying to get about it, like you're trying to let it. No, you ain't no motherfucking Chucky. You're not Chucky. You're not Chucky. You got your own body, your own energy. Okay? Time to invoke that. Time to use that. It's present. It's time. Okay? 3333. I love you. Love yourselves more. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And we'll continue to vibe. Until next time.